A big what's up to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be my review of the half-season schedule that the 76ers put out on Friday. Normally, the team actually releases its full schedule, but with everything going on surrounding the virus, I am assuming that the NBA just wants to take a few precautions and leave some room for error within its team's schedule so that if there is a need for stoppage, it is already built in. I read somewhere that the league is considering instituting a 2-week break during the season for health concerns, obviously. This would essentially be used as this year's All-Star break. No All-Star game this year, unfortunately. But looking at the schedule itself, this first half composes of 37 games, 19 home games, and 16 away games. I'm not really sure how much the home court advantage is really going to matter this season, as no fans will be allowed in arenas, at least not from jump. So momentum will be key this year, just like it was within the bubble, with a slight adjustment on the intensity of the games as well as fatigue, as there will be traveling involved this time. So our first 8 games are relatively easy, as we will be playing 6 sub-500 teams from last year, minus the Raptors. Our first game is against the Washington Wizards, who we know just traded John Wall for Russell Westbrook. And then our first real test will be against the new look Kyrie and KD Brooklyn Nets on January 7th. A few things that I noted within the schedule: there are 6 back-to-back games. I wonder how this will affect our resting schedule for our players, specifically with Joel Embiid. How much will he sit this year gearing up for the playoffs? Load management is a thing. The second piece, there are a few moments in the schedule where we play the exact same team consecutively. For example, the Boston Celtics on January 20th and January 22nd. I wonder how these games will affect seeding in the long run. You figure those type games will be tight. The players will actually know the whole play styles of the opposite team as they just play them. General thinking would suggest that the Sixers need to win the first games of those matchups just so we can have the advantage moving forward. Other than that, I really didn't, see anything too off within the schedule. As a whole, it really doesn't look like we have a tough stretch of games. We do play a couple of good opponents here and there, but they are sandwiched in between mediocre squads. If I had to assume which stretches of games would give us the most trouble, I would say there are 2. The first one from January 7th to the 14th. And the second would be first 2 weeks of the month of February due to our West Coast trip. I would call these our prove it stretches. Prove that, we should be considered a top team in the East. Many people within the Sixers fandom was upset that the NBA slated us with 9 nationally televised games, as they feel that the Sixers are being disrespected, not being viewed as watchable this year. For context, the Suns also have 9 nationally televised games, and the Pelicans have 14, which is tied for second most. But honestly, I kind of don't really feel a way. If anything, I say bring it on. I think having less spotlight, the better. I want this team to prove that they deserve to be in the primetime matchups going into the second half of the season, especially after the way we underperformed last year. You can keep your Christmas and your opening night games for the LeBron, Stephs, the KDs of the world. I will be just as happy watching Zumoff and Ala calling the games. They do a better job than any ESPN could do. Besides, this kind of gives us the underdog chip on our shoulder that we can use as fuel. Think about it for a second. Look at Danny Green after coming off his poor finals performance and people saying he's washed. He has something to prove. Dwight Howard, how the Lakers didn't see the whole need to re-sign him immediately after being a key piece on the championship squad. Even Mike Scott, last year he had a very off year. Prove that he still deserves to be in the league. Look no further than Doc. Everything coming out right now, the whole drama with the LA Clippers, coming to find out that he didn't hold Kawhi and PG to certain standards, yada, 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 as well as he needs to show that he won't choke in the playoffs, having 3-1 leads. Daryl Morey? Can he finally win that elusive chip to be placed in the conversation of Hall of Fame GM/front office staff? Shaking off the stigma that Morey ball does not work and that he is a snake oil salesman. So really deep diving into it, not having these games will actually be a good thing in the end. Play beautiful ball and the rest will follow, 76ers. So what do you think of the schedule up to this point? Let me know in the comment section below. I am comfortable. It really doesn't look that bad. I appreciate you for pulling up and listening to a brother speak. Like, share, subscribe. It is always appreciated. As always, your boyfriend is mad because the process worked. My name is Cain, and I will see you next time. Peace.